So in order for them to think that they could have taken, I believe someone thought they could take all of his ideas that he did over 20 something years ago, 25 years ago, and recreate it for Gucci. They thought they could get away with it, and we weren't happening. They were about to boycott.
Yeah.
And so they had to bring Dapper Dan on. And that's why there's been such a big electricity with Gucci. Everyone's rocking it. It's been, the past 2 seasons have been ridiculous.
Yeah, it looks really good.
And so that's all Dapper Dan.
Yeah.
And now they have Gucci. I think Dapper Dan has Gucci in Harlem now. So now there's a new creative director for Louis Vuitton.
Yep.
You know, same with Balmain. People didn't know. Like, there's a reason why people rocking Balmain. You know, these black male designers are kicking butt.
They are. They're making a lot of noise. I see them all over GQ. I see them on the different style shows.
They know the cut for these athletes.
And they know their customer base. Mm-hmm. They know their following. They know their customer base, and they know who's going to go out and buy it. I mean, I thought the H&M collaboration with Balmain was brilliant.
Oh.
You know, if you have people sleeping outside in tents in downtown Seattle, outside of an H&M for 2 or 3 days, you're doing something right.
Well, you want to get some Balmain for $200 versus
$5,000?
$5,493 jacket starting.
Yep. And
I bought a couple of them, not for myself, but for my clients.
There you go. Yeah, I wanted that.
I mean, there's a few I want. I've thought very oof.
They came out with that really cool bright red one. It was like red and black, and I wanted it. There's a couple online right now that I've been looking at, but it's definitely kind of that fun fashion show. Hosting that club,
and it's a really good. You know what? If you pay over $5,000 for one of the Balmain jackets, it's actually really. It's a good investment because the tailor fit is so supreme.
Yep.
You can have it for the next 20 years. So I'm not even mad about the price meeting the quality. And it's just the construction is beautiful.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
What are some other brands on the women's side and of course on the men's side that are up and coming that you've got some good traction on that you're a fan of that maybe obviously the audience here at Studio 110.live might not be aware about yet?
New brands
that you've got your pulse on. That Okera Banks is
I have that OTG Essentials.
Of course.
Collection.
Of course. That'll be hammered through all day today, even with our other special guests.
Yes, hammer.
Coming on the show today, we got just to kind of let you kind of the flight plan. We've got Dawn from DawnaMatrix.
DawnaMatrix, yeah.
Yeah, she'll be in, and she's done a lot of stuff, and that's why I wanted you to have the opportunity to meet her. She's made stuff for Beyonce and Katy Perry and a lot of other celebrities as well. And then we have my guys, the High Children, Jason and Jamal. They've got a whole surprise.
Yeah, I like that T-shirt you have on.
I told them to bring you something, so they're going to be bringing you something special from their clothing collaboration. So it's a fun show today. I mean,
it's my lane.
It's your lane, and you're the co-host, and you're the special guest.
It's my lane. We get to do some really. We get to talk about lifestyle and style and fashion and how to keep it fly at all times.
Let's talk about your podcast show. You told me at coffee earlier, and he's a legend in my industry, in my business.
Carl Kanai?
Well, not so much Carl Kanai. Well, he also is, but Rick Dees.
Oh, Rick Dees Studio. Yes, Rick Dees is a legend.
Rick Dees is a legend, and he's been around he's been around forever.
The coolest guy. He's been super supportive.
He's a huge name in radio.
And I get to actually record in Rick Dees' studio,
which is
his
huge.
Personal studio.
Which is huge, Okera.
I know it is.
Yeah.
And he was like, anytime, and I'm like, the crazy part is I didn't really know. I didn't grow up in LA, so I didn't know Rick Dees.
Yep.
Until my producer at the time, she grew up in LA, and when I told her, I said, we're going to be recording at Rick Dees' studio, she about lost her mind, and then she met him. She was like, oh my God, wait till I tell my mom. So no, I've been really fortunate on this journey with the podcast. I kicked it off in August, and the stars have aligned really well for me. So
You told me it's doing remarkably well. Just tell me some of the guests you've had on your show so far down there.
I've had, and I wanted to go back to the designers. I've been having some really up-and-coming hot designers who've designed a little bit for everybody. But I've had, a couple of reality stars. Tammy Roman, y'all know her from Basketball Wives.
Yep.
I've had Tiffany Haddish on. She was my first. Tiffany is a friend, so she was one of the first people who knew I was going to do the podcast. Months, and it was months before Girls Trip popped off. It was she was at the house, and I was like, I think I'm about to do this podcast. She was like, yeah, you should do it. You can go online.
And what's so cool about Okera is Tiffany's last red carpet event, which I'm sure everybody saw, because if you missed it, I don't know what else you had better to do
With
with
that
that.
Alexander McQueen dress that she three-peat.
That the Alexander McQueen that you styled for her, that you gave her to wear. So you get all the credit for that, Okera.
Yes, I know. Quite a few was like, she wore the dress again. Well, the funny thing about that story, Tiffany was on, and Carl Kanai and Billy
Shout out
Woodruff.
to Carl Kanai.
Carl Kanai, love Carl, and he'll be on again. Billy Woodruff, he's one of the directors for Empire and Star. He came from videos, really awesome. Love all my guests. Laz Alonso, had LL Cool J's wife, Sis Simone, and her hoops. So I like designers, and a couple of my peers, makeup and designers, you'll be hearing more from them because they are the pulse of beauty and trend setting, and using these celebrities and influencers as their canvas. I have my girl Natalia Fedner, who is one of the designers that's popping and trending right now that I'm a fan of. We're friends, but we didn't start off as friends. I'm just a fan of her work. She started off on Project Runway, and she makes these metal knit dresses. And Beyonce, Rihanna, J-Lo wears her pieces a lot. Like, I've worn her pieces on the red carpet. I just wore it for the NAACP Image Awards, and it was a hit. Another designer I really like is, she's a female designer, is Jaga Dua, and she makes a lot of pieces for Halle Berry. Barbara Streisand just wore her pieces for this big campaign. Nicole Murphy, but all her stuff is very like silk printed, and they all intertwine into what I wear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When it comes to men, for whatever reason, I still love. He's not a new designer, but I just feel like this designer named Oswald Bouteng that's out of London. He's one of my favorite. He used to be in the States. He went back to London. You have to go to London to get his pieces, but incredible designer. So I've been shouting him out a lot, hoping somebody will tell me something. But that, and I do a lot of PRPS, denim and, G-Star. But yeah, those are a few. As for Tiffany and the dress, the Alexander McQueen dress, we did that dress. That dress was first worn for Girls Trip. And Tiffany has some wonderful pieces in her clothes. And as we were doing the whole tour, knowing Tiffany for years, Tiffany's not that girl who, I don't want to say, fashion is functional for her. We'll just say that. And so when we got into, the red carpets and things like that, and she had beautiful choices, but that dress just felt like it fit perfect, and it did. It felt right on her.
I want to hold that right there for 1 second. My producer's telling me we have to take a very quick production break real quick. We'll be right back at it. Studio 110.live, my special guest. That was a little tongue twister there, and I can admit when I have a little faux pas on the air. My friend Okera Banks will be back with us here in a matter of hopefully 30 seconds or less. Studio 110.